Not even a few minutes. That's crazy. Oh my god. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah? Oh my god. That scared the crap out of me. I was like, who the heck is calling me? No one ever reaches out unless they want something. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well today. No, today, there won't be any gaming today, but it's just more of a chat and yap. I kind of skipped work today due to weather conditions. Everyone reaches out. Everyone reaches out for something. Let's be real. Although I'm like I'm not uh like I'm not tripping over it. Like it's always good to hear from people. So I always like catching up with people, especially ones that I'm very good friends with, like algorithmic blah, blah, algorithmic owl here, and quite a few others on the web and IRL. No one heard that. No one heard that. Anyway, but yeah, no, today it's just gonna be chatting. It was too. There was a severe winds up where I live at. Problem is right. Not yet. I was kind of preoccupied with other things today. Which challenge? From the site? I don't want to pull up the website here, but yeah, no. There was a lot of severe wind when I first woke up this morning, and the winds were like roughly 70, 80 miles an hour. It was some of the trees were some of the trees lost their top halves over here, which in all fairness, right? Like I get that some people can drive through that. I used to do it, but the problem was I was driving something else entirely that was super lightweight. It slid out a lot, and I had fun with it. But here's the thing, right? Weather is different for through the amount of distance that you have to travel, or even like one area it could be like mild winds, and then another it could be severe. We have I live in had that where we lost cell service, we lost power for a little while. My folks and I, we woke up at 2 this morning trying to freaking pick stuff up because freaking the garbage can tipped over full of garbage. We had to go clean that up. and we had to and various other things. Yeah, I'll go check the site real quick. I'm looking at the site. All I see is a terminal. And that's the other thing, right? I was gonna say too, like I stayed indoors the whole day. There's a hidden command. I'll have to try that. I'll have to try that later on. I was gonna say though, friggin' it's one of those things though, like if I'm staying indoors all day and the majority are fine. But if there's some people out there that are make willing to make a drive in such fiery conditions, that's also fine. I'll give them props and balls for that one. But at the end of the day, safety is just a concern for me, at least. I used to take a lot of risks, and I'm no longer, doing that. With that said, though, like there was a couple video reacts I was gonna do today. We'll get to that later on. But sure. But yeah, no, that's kind of the layout of it. But regardless, it's actually give me 1 second here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was really intense this morning up until late afternoon, and it's what 2:34 right now, 1400 hours. Um, Stayed home from that. I'm not driving out there. Regardless if I have four-wheel drive or not, driving a bigger vehicle means catching more wind. Been there, done that. Anyway, today it's just going to be reactions and or talks about certain things that I will be reacting to. It's not like it's not the worst thing in the world either. With that said though, Not doing that. Not doing that. Not doing that. Nope. 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 There we go. There we go. But yeah, no. I will say, sorry for delays here. Today's video reactions will be either automotive related or car crash related. Some crazy business in when people drive. Not to mention, right? And in some of the crazy storms, especially. Welcome back. How's the owl been? No, no. Heck yeah. No, today we'll be reacting to this and this for today. Maybe some maybe some hilarious stuff, but well, without further ado, sorry, I'm kind of slow today.
Banana. Buck buck chickens on a buck buck banana in buck 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 bandanas.
Without further ado, let's start reacting to some of these. We'll do the shorter ones. Just
Jesus himself works through me. I become his instrument and gets every game. Well, then I want that on the record. I want credit for that.
oh,
And you can't.
right out of the get,
If I don't, fill out a bracket.
right out of the get
That's
go.
why I did it. I want that on the record. I want credit for that.
Hold on,
And you can't.
hold on.
Jesus.
Okay, so it's a three single lane turn. Okay, so Zombie Libras? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I'm practically a zombie. Let's be real. Been dead. I've been dead for quite a while.
If I do
But I don't know what this car was thinking. The driver right here, the one with the dash cam. You could clearly see that the bus would have potentially had his hazards on. Potentially.
well, then I
Either
want that
he
on
was
the
trying to
record. I want
turn
credit
left
for that.
or
And
he
we
had his
can't
hazards on to stop and pull
if I
people
don't
in.
fill out a bracket. So that's why I did it.
Yeah, this driver definitely at fault.
What's good, Joe? Who's that?
This
Ridge Runner
driver
Mark, how are
definitely
you
at
doing?
fault.
Good evening, Ridge Runner. I'm excellent. Excellent.
Didn't wait for the bus either.
I just got off work. Wasn't for that. Runner, I'm excellent. So that's
Okay,
just
let's.
got off work.
Oh, they have a back view of it.
Well, I guess that did. What's good, Joe? Who's that? Ridge Runner Mark, how are we doing? Good evening, Ridge Runner.
So
I'm
I would
excellent.
say that's a definite
Excellent.
difficult
So,
to say, freaking. Did you? There was a couple of them out here due to the windstorm. One in Moscow, one down by the canyons here, close by Nespers. And I mean the canyons, not the. God damn, what just happened here? This might be a little loud. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, yup. Yeah. I would never be a lawyer. Screw that noise. Yes. Oh. Oh. Is that a four-wheel drive vehicle losing traction? Oh yeah, look at that drift. He's keeping it steady. Oh my god. Oh, and he drifted right over to the edge. What the fuck? Mind you, like, I'm not sick by any means. I just feel dead today due to probably the weather. But at the end, even then, right? I called out because of the severe weather storm, wind advisory, and everything else. Are you? Is she serious? Is she serious? Where was she looking? I gotta look at that again. Where was she looking? At her mirror? She trying to run from local law enforcement or what? Jeez. There's nothing that would indicate that there would be something behind her. Maybe she's looking. I don't know. Maybe she's looking out for traffic right closest to the corner here and didn't look ahead. And then she looks straight ahead and is like, oh, dude, this man, that's that man's fault for being right in front of me. Another car rolled into my car, two accident. Oh, that poor guy, dude. Wait, how does a car roll into him? That look on her face just was like, oh, it's all his fault. Rainy day in Toronto. What? I don't know what happened there. I didn't see a thing. I didn't see what happened. Oh, what the hell? There was plenty of distance, I reckon. And this lady's like, I'm just gonna road rage. What the hell? And he was even going on the turning lane, so can't fault him for that, I don't think. But at the same time, right? It might have seemed like he cut her off, but no, that was a great marginal distance. And what the fuck? Oh yeah, here we go. Something's flapping on his trailer. That can't be good. Oh, 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 oh. If he was doing that for miles, um, here's the thing. You could see that he was passing another trucker, right? If he was actually doing this for miles, freaking, you would think that he would actually, maybe he could have potentially been trying to cause a wreck or run him off the road. Who knows? But my thought process is, right, if he was passing all these rigs for miles and then he decides to go to the other lane, why did he slow down to go to a different lane? Did not make any sense. Because in Arizona, like, the speed limit down there is like, what, 70 to 80, give or take? Some of their interstates are like 80 some odd miles an hour. I know that. And then there's some standard highways that are like 65 or 70. Cool. Mm. What what is this guy doing? Oh, 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 oh. Touching butts. Oh, I'm worried about the van behind. He wasn't even looking at the road. And I don't think he was necessarily looking at his phone either. I think he was looking for something in there, which is still not a. I mean, I don't know what it's like to get into a wreck for not texting and driving like that, but you're looking for something. I feel like the fines would be just as intense as texting and driving would be. Oh, how tall was it? Oh, wait, it's because he was towing a construction vehicle that's got a ladder up on it. Nice. And then, boom. And it's off the trailer. Bye bye, truck. Oh, just rolled off. Did someone really just rear end this man? Someone really just rear ended him in the. Really? This man had the right of way. Did it just turn instantly green? No. And the other cars were stopped too. This one was clearly a fault. For sure. Don't drink. Oh my god, there was a cop on scene. Oh, wait, there was a street cam view. Red light in front of a police officer, argue with his green. Nope. Nope. Wasn't that? I mean, here's the thing is some of those street lights too, I know for a fact are still manually operated. And I also know for a fact that some of these are automatic. Now, there will be some times where all lights, like I've seen video, like at least one or two videos of this happening, where all lights are red. Okay. Sometimes that happens on more than one occasion. But I seen a video of uh, all lights in all four directions being green. There was it was a big old car wreck, and there was multiple dash cam footages of different angles, and there was all the streetlights were green. Hard to tell if that was automated glitch or if that was manual error, like user error. I because it's hard to tell between the two. Because in the automated sense, right, it's anything programmed and automated is made by a human. So of course it's going to have glitches and software issues because it's man-made. And then on the other hand, humans make mistakes, of course. Let's see what this let's see
This
what this is
weekend I
about.
gotta go out and buy a couple more things for
Oh,
watch it, Austin. They're gonna pull on over. Damn. It's one car.
wow.
Slow your window down. Slow your window down. Roll it down. He's gonna pull in front of you.
Wow.
I wouldn't follow him now.
Nah,
I'd
this
go
one
around
was
to the
just
other
eager to
side.
get into that spot like his name was written on it.
Roll it down. He's not going to. Just go. Roll it. One
That
at a time. You zip. One at a time. It's one at a time. I let him in. You get behind. You idiots. Go.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. people in People don't give two shits about rules in the driving world. And freaking normally, I feel like it's in a federal sense, kind of like common sense. When there's multiple cars entering into the highway like this, when there's multiple cars entering into the highway, right? Normally, what's supposed to happen is one car lets one in, and then the other car lets one in, and then so on and so on. It's supposed to be a chain reaction. This guy lets the ram in.
This weekend I gotta go out and buy a couple more things
This
for
guy, no care in the
watch it,
world,
Austin. They're gonna pull on over. Damn.
no care in the world.
It's one car.
Typical
Slow your window down.
terrible driver.
Slow your window down. Roll it down.
But with that said, though, right? People don't have common sense, especially when driving. There's more wrecks than that happen in the area I live in than Washington. And Washington's got more congested traffic, especially in the West, because it's a big area of town, cities, and various other things. Freaking. Whereas over here, um, people be driving in, people just drive nonchalant like they own the freaking road. I mean, sure, in the ice, they will drive, some of them will drive slow, and then some others will just drive like a dick. But more often than not, I see I'm part of a few groups, and I just see multiple bad drivers down there. Things I never thought I would see in my lifetime. Now, yeah, see, the trucker couldn't get out, and then the truck refused to accelerate to get in front of him. I think that was, I think that was a insurance scam. And he had plenty of room to just merge from, like, if he couldn't merge, the least he could have done was, either waited patiently for this truck to pass through, or freaking, he could have just stayed on the side of the road here and just, accelerated to get behind the Honda. The trucker was trying to give, potentially, by the looks of it, yeah, or ignorance, but glad I had a dash cam. Yeah, that was gonna be my other thing, was it was potentially friggin' insurance fraud. That Dodge driver, I think, knew what he was doing. And then
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it did. It it just clipped him slightly, and that car kind of clipped him. You could see that the car actually reacted with the suspension wise. You could see that it jiggled a little bit, bounced a little.
Did it get you?
Maybe not.
Bro.
Wait.
I think you did hit me.
Wait.
Bro. Bitch, pull over.
That pilot shit ain't pulling over.
I think you did hit me. Where? Like in the back corner.
Oh, look at that. And this is also what I worry about out here, right? People don't know how to drive in this area at all. You risk your life to oh my god.
What the heck?
You risk your life to drive out in this weather. By the looks of it, it's just strictly raining. But when it comes to severe winds and stuff like that, your car could get blown over like a semi can. It could. It could. Doesn't happen very often, but it could. And this is self-explanatory. He was on his phone.
What the heck?
Definitely. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that was intentional. There was one I seen of this drunk driver. Just it wasn't even a drunk driver in my opinion, but there was a car parked on the side of the road here, and let's just say he was on the side of the road, right? Well, probably what, this lane or this lane within on the opposing, some guy just pulls out of a parking lot, goes this way, and then just turns and immediately slams into the car that was parked here. It looks so intentional. You could say that it was potential drug driving, but I don't think it was. That was an attempt to destroy someone's car. And this idiot in the Jeep thinks he owns the road because clearly, yeah, he didn't have the right of way. He should have stopped. But I mean, sometimes people are nice enough to just stop and wait. Be like keep being stopped right at the red light after the fact that it's green to let people turn left. Not an okay thing to do. Oh my god. Oh, I'm just gonna make a complete fucking lane change right there. What the hell? I love this song. I feel like I'm hearing Free Bird from this one. What the hell? What is this highway? No, it's not Free Bird. Oh my god. That's exactly my point and what I've been encountering for months. Ever since I came back to Idaho, dude. Like, holy hell. Like, this dude was passing on the slow lane. This car is like, oh no, I'm just gonna go over here. I have had this happen to me on so many occasions where the car just doesn't see a big black vehicle or even a big vehicle behind them in general. Like, I don't get it. Look how bumpy this road is. This is a highway. That's crazy. I'm trying to see. Yeah, record that. This is why I have a dash cam. Because of idiots like this that just do this kind of shit in front of you. Like I've had that happen to me so many times and too many close calls. And I'm just the majority of the time, right? I'm literally just cruising along. And if people are going super slow on the fast lane, then that's their issue. And if they cause an accident like that, like that's on them for not looking. At least I'll give them props for at least using the turn signal. I'll give them props for using the turn signal. This one seems pretty crazy in itself. Ah, street racing. The very thing you. Oh my god. Holy shit. And that dash cam driver just kept driving. Oh, good god. Just slid out. I don't think he slowed. I think he slowed down a little too late. Oh my. Wait. I need to see that. Red light. Who knows what that side was? Could not tell you if it was green or red still. Because by the looks of it, this intersection was only two-way. Oh! Hold up. Um, that's quite a huge margin of distance to be already slowed down in the icy road. And this van just not in the care in the world, just rear ends a county vehicle. What what did I just witness? Oh, he hit the curb. Oh, that curb. Holy shit. Yeah, that curb just sent him sent him. Just full sent him. Train signs down. Dude crossing his arms. Big semi, probably high centered. Train coming. Do, do you guys know that like it takes roughly it takes quite a while for a train to slow down. I don't think people realize that for a big train to stop, they have to communicate and relay it immediately. But even then that takes time. Another thing that really takes time is the train stopping. The train stopping is a whole other thing. It take I want to say just by rough estimation, it could take what up to 30 minutes to maybe an hour, maybe longer. It ain't pretty. Yeah, see, I'm pretty certain he was already trying to slow down and couldn't do it in time. Like I said, that's a lot of mass to stop on metal with a mass weight. Those things weigh at least a few hundred tons, I believe. 100 to a few hundred. Oh, we can already see where this is going. Oh, yeah. Oh! Whoa! Please tell. Yeah, this car's like, I'm just gonna pull out, right? There's this car, and I feel like the motorcyclist was going after the blue car on the opposing lane there for some odd reason. Now here's a windstorm, snow blizzard storm.
Oh shit! It's okay.
That's wild. See, this is
Oh
what can
shit!
happen. Oh god, that scream. Don't need that. No, but legit, like in a winter storm like that, four-wheel drive, sometimes you could still slide out. You could still slide out. Been there and done that. Here's a fun little fact. Like, the area I live in is a bridge between a big town and a smaller one. And going to the smaller one is a county highway, not a state highway. So the majority of the time when it really snows out here, you typically have to worry about, well, of course, freaking snowplows will go through the state highway and salt the roads. Well, in county highways, they don't do that. They don't salt the roads. They only plow it and throw some gravel on it and say good luck to everybody else, basically. That's the I've driven through that for years, and I ended up coming back home because you cannot drive in these conditions. It's one of those things. Even severe wind and ice, not a good mixture. You could still potentially slide out. Now, people making that drive to whatever destination they have to go from here are I'll give them props. I'll give them props for that. Problem is I don't want to waste what, an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe even a little longer, instead of 1 hour driving to work and back. And going back is going to be even worse. Dude lost his wheel. That was one of the most intense wrecks I've ever seen. This happened. I've seen this video multiple times. This clip right here. I've seen this one so many times, and this is why you don't get wheels with spacers on them, because you could potentially lose your wheel up bearing, and you can also lose this and a few other things like your wheel. That, but definitely, I'm pretty certain someone A didn't torque down the wheels enough for their aftermarket proprietary lugs, or B, or B, his wheel hub bearing was shot because of having spacers. When you add spacers to your wheel hub, it just kind of messes up the bearing in the long term. So you have to replace your wheel hub bearings more often. And this poor car got double tapped. At first, he gets flung in the air, and then gets hit by on the rear end of the car by the tire. Like, what the hell? This dude's fault. This dude's fault. It wasn't even red. Now it's red. Yeah, it was that dude's fault. Again? Do people not know their depth perception? Oh, that was clean. That was clean. That was it. Wait, is this another point of view? I think it was. I think it was. God, that was a clean cut. Yeah, this is a different point of view. Oh, wow. Oh my god. Jetta was speeding, didn't stop. I don't think this guy did either. I don't think he stopped. Yeah, it's a four-way stop. It's it's on them. I mean, more the lines of this guy because he was speeding. But I'm also pretty certain there was also a stop sign on this direction and this direction. Like it was four-way. No. I guess it's one way. I don't know in that one. I do not know in that one. What a time to freeze frame. What the fuck? Whoa. What the hell happened? No stop sign. Both sides. More than likely. Find out. Let's find out. There it is. Stop sign right there. What the hell? Oh, that dude was walking. I thought that was the person in the car that just got out of it somehow. Ah, yes. The good. What the hell? Now, no, did he even signal? I don't think he did. Those last minute fucking turns, dude. Yeah, he had a left turn signal. Didn't even like he fucked up. That's on him. I don't the majority of the time you're not supposed to turn you're not supposed to change lanes while you're in roundabouts unless you are able to. He just immediately crossed over like no warning, nothing. He's like, "Oh my god, I got to turn here." And then there's this person right here just like, "Huh, hello." And then proceeds to keep on going. Whoa. What the heck happened? Oh! um stop sign. Stop sign here and stop sign here. This dude, I'm pretty certain, I'm dead certain. Yeah, he was at fault. Yeah, this dude was at fault. Let's get back to. Are you for real? Wait. It's probably turn on yield for this guy because both of these lanes are moving. The exploder did not see this car coming in. God knows how he did not. Again, oblivious drivers at their finest. Holy crapanola. Wow. That one got flipped. That one got flipped over. Let's see what happened. Well, something hit him in the eye, got destroyed. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think it was the semi that hit him either. I don't think it was. It was this white car. It was definitely that white car that hit him in the rear. It's amazing how modern day cars could just easily flip over. It it really is amazing how they could just flip over easily. Suspension is built different in the modern day versus back then. Cars back then were also built differently than now.
Did the sentence have to be so harsh? I don't
Oh!
I'm sure.
Oh, wow! I really hope they have a good medical reason. I really hope they have a good medical reason. Like, such as having a seizure or something. I do legit hope they're okay. But for something like this, either they were having a medical emergency, or B, they were on their phone. I really hope it was a medical emergency. Now it is, but. Or that too. Oh, wait, what? Why is he swerving? Why was he swerving? Um, what? Did he lose traction right here? Did he actually lose traction or something? Like, what? That was a full bore high speed chase. What the hell? Why was that car backing out of the gas station like that? Why? Did it lose its transmission? Lose its gears? Again, folks, modern day cars with modern problems. He's not even high centered. He's not even high centered. But the real question is, like, does transmission fail like the rest of them? Thanks. Newt, newt. What the fuck? This car thinks he's a motorcyclist.
Chickens on a banana.
What the?
Chickens on a banana and bandanas.
Oh my god. That was perfect.
Chickens on a banana.
They really are playing chicken at this point. What is this what is this road rage?
Chickens on a banana. Chickens on a banana and bandanas.
That really was a good mix with this one. Wow. Dude's casually walking like, I'm just gonna walk casually. Oh, oh, he hit the light pole. First light pole. Yup. Whoa. How did it wrap around like that? How did it fucking wrap around like that? That's crazy. That one was not a clean cut. That truck was full of hard, dense material. Or was built different. What the hell? Wait, 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 wait. This is LCV right here. This is LCV. I'm kidding. Oh,
Okay. Alright, okay. Okay.
I am so sorry.
what? Raid who? Me? What? Why are you raiding me? Why are we raiding? Oh my. Dude wasn't looking. I have seen this exact same bridge, this exact same environment and layout. What? Twice, 3 times in a row? This makes it the 4th time. How is this place how is this area a hub of car wrecks? Like, I feel like they literally have cams. Yeah, they do. How is that such a wrecking hub? Like, what? Another curb hit. It was another curb hit. You know, with all the wrecks that happened in that in particular spot of the world, you would think that they would try to improve the freaking layout just a wee bit. Take out the sharp edge of the curb, or maybe, just maybe, I don't know if this bridge is actively used. That's a that's a railroad bridge. But I'm pretty certain if you put in if they put in a little bit of effort, they could extend it. They could extend the road a little bit. But yeah, no, with all the freaking hits it takes, I'm surprised it's still standing. Not gonna lie. Ain't no shot. Ain't no shot. They are no. Your car is tiny. Your car is so tiny. You could literally just go straight out, all the way back, and turn left. Or you could kind of straighten out and then turn into this spot. You're tiny. You should not be driving. That's all I will say. Oh, oh, that car was at fault. That car was at fault. This car right here. Yup, he just pulled out and clipped this guy. They're gonna look at insurance is gonna look at this and be like, yeah, no, this dude didn't stop at all and just clipped this dude and almost caused him to run somebody over. I'm willing to bet that the car just kind of ran off too. Because, people are terrible out here. That dude got clipped and the instant karma slam dunk. Bam! Slam dunk. He was going the wrong way. Most certainly was going the wrong way to pass all these cars. What an idiot. Uh, oh. Oh. Miss, you might want to run. You might want to run. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, what? Whoa. What the Wait, what the hell is happening here? Car, what the hell is happening here? What the fuck? Spare tire. It's on its wheel. That is no, it's got a tire there. But this car is this bug. Headlight gone. Bumper gone. What kind of tow truck is this? Um, and why is it towing it like this? Um, yeah, he doesn't know how to. Oh my god! Tow truck driver was like, no, no, I'll let my company take care of that. I know exactly where this is. I know exactly where this is. This is from my home area. This is from my home area in Chico, California. There's a, this is not even a roundabout. That's in Chico, California. Saints and sinners, why? Look at the big old boulder that they took with the car. No, this actually happened in the home area. Definitely on the, potentially on this guy. Potentially. Normally, as a trucker, if you see someone with their hazards on, um, and or just you're hard locked in an objective, what are you playing? Is that what the game is called? Saints and Sinners? But yeah, no. Typically, when a trucker is pulled over like this, I Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. Got you. I have never played it. I think that's the multi-point answering question, right? Where you where you decide things and it the game also decides your fate or you decide your own fate kind of thing. Is that what it is? But so normally when a vehicle is pulled over on the side of the road, a trucker could get ticketed for this one. If where you can affect the story. Ah, that's super cool. I don't think I've heard of it. Although in all fairness, I haven't seen a Walking Dead show since what, season 4? Stopped there, left it at that. Like at the very least the first ever show. I did not go any further than season 4. It wasn't worth it. But I was just gonna say though, typically a trucker is supposed to go on the fast lane to give a vehicle pulled over more room because typically any law enforcement, fire enforcement, or any civilian vehicle pulled over on the side of the road, the majority of the time truckers could get pinged for that one if they don't go to the fast lane. But standard cars, right? They some of them typically slow down in the lane if they can't go to the fast lane. But this guy just slam dunk, which I'll give it maybe a benefit of the doubt, maybe because the side of the road here, right where the wide and rail are, it's pretty thin. It's a thin pullover. spot, and I don't think it is a pullover spot either. Ooh, oh, that's a Germany. Just the edge. Oh no, this can't be good. Really? No, 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 no. Yeah, his lights were on. This guy probably couldn't see the turn signal. But even at the end of the day, this dude should have been looking at his mirror to see again a big vehicle. That is something people are not doing and it's using their fucking mirrors and or looking back. That is also a requirement to look behind you if you do not see a thing in your blind spot. I look in all directions, the majority of these directions before I make a lane change. But at that point, right at the end there, I feel like it was intentional on both of them. Hard to say. Hard to say. What the hell? Wait, it's this guy again. It's this guy again. Same highway. Same road, same place. No, okay. So I don't think the trucker saw him. But at the end of the day, sadly, he's at fault. At least it wasn't too bad. Just slid. I feel like this one is Ukraine or Russia. Huh. Huh. Did he try to drift or did he... That's what happened. A lot of times when you ride, um, a lot of times when you ride the bigger bikes like a Harley or an Indian or a Roadster of some kind, the exhaust hangs like super low to the rear wheel. And I mean, a lot of times people will just freaking gently ride the cruisers. Okay. I've had this happen to me a couple times where I would take a nice sharp corner and a lot of times the exhaust would freaking grind on the ground. Sometimes you would drift from it. I've done that a couple times, but this guy, he didn't estimate how slow he had to go. And he slid out from his exhaust here. Definitely. Oh! Oh! Oh my god, he lost his wheel. Whoa! Whoa! At least the audio is quiet. Whoa. What happened here? There we go. Nice. What the hell? Did the car just try to make a Yui? Oh, man. Bro's like, I got this on camera. I got this on camera. For a second there, I thought that said Idaho's in cars. No, it's idiots in cars. Nice. I'm pretty certain he lost traction and slid out. I don't want to guess the nation and native language for this one. But I'm pretty sure I know which one. Certain I know which one it is.
Okay.
Yup.
Put some water in it, heat it in the microwave like you would. Whoa! Yep, they hit each other.
Wait, what is this? What is this freaking section of the road? What the hell? Mini Cooper's a freaking idiot, by the way. That was definitely an intentional insurance scam.
Okay. Put some.
What is this? Look at all these signs that look like they go in a big old circle, like it's a roundabout there. So what the hell is this sub road here? And then this other sub road. Maybe an exit coming from the left, and then this one comes from the parking lots in in this side of the area. That is the most. I'm pretty certain that says one way. You're supposed to go one way. So this car is definitely at fault.
You would. Whoa! Yep, they hit each other.
I don't think you were supposed to turn left. Oh! I could tell you what could cause a left like that. Potential part failure, steering failure, or potential freaking medical emergency, or the wheel itself, like, well, I don't know. The steering linkage could be a definite factor. Like the steering linkage just went F and chat, and it just decided to veer off to the left. That's also a possibility. Oh, hell yeah. Clear to merge. Clear. Or not. Oh, did he change lane? I don't know about that. If he did, that's terrible. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, yeah. Totaled. Also totaled. Okay. Normal. That's normal. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Someone messed up. Someone messed up big time. Pretty certain that car, the white car, tumbled over. Oh, hey. Hey. A Daswagen. Wait. Wait. Normally a car is driving backwards down the hill. This looks like it's a down the hill freaking scenario. That looked like it was a downhill scenario where he would just go backwards. Thanks. Thanks for that. I I dead ass am wondering what. Oh, Jeep clipped him. Jeep clipped him right there. Yeah, don't be an idiot in a car. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh, oh. Mm. Yeah? Oh man. I'm a I'm gonna take a few minute break and then we're gonna start reacting to like I feel oh my god.
Have you ever been at work for
I will take a couple minute break though. I'll be back here shortly and we'll react to oh my god. Yeah? I miss that piece of YouTube history. I'll be real with you. That piece of YouTube history is like there. Well, here's the thing: is like there's so many pieces of history in YouTube that the majority don't even know about. I could definitely show you a I could definitely show you a couple videos in regards to that at some point. Maybe later on. This segment is gonna be this segment is gonna be kind of a small one. And then we can switch over to memes and stuff like that. I'll be back though.
Nothing beats a Chattin.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
Nothing beats a Chattin.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
Here we go. I'm back. So, this is a essential reaction of like how the automotive is doing as of this moment. Since what, 2016?
50 hours, only at the end of the week to get paid for 10 hours of it, looking at your check and just so bewildered. Me too. I don't know really any other industries that do it quite like mechanics do it, and honestly, it's probably a reason that mechanics are leaving the industry in droves. The unemployment rate inside the shop is the highest it's ever been.
Yeah?
The rate of techs leaving dealerships is also the highest rate that it's ever been.
At Ford, we have 6,000, probably 400,000 repair technician shortages.
The price that people are paying to have their car serviced is a lot higher than it would be. You know, it's simple supply and demand in action. We've got.
Not, I will say it definitely is. Repairs are definitely higher than ever, especially at a dealership. A dealership is moderate to like it's iffy in some gray areas. Some dealerships are really honorable, and some others are not so much. Um,
How to get those people.
but it's not exactly an employee shortage. It's also because typically mainline technicians have two bays that they work in. One for that vehicle that they're working on, and the other one that's prepped to be worked on and diagnosed and stuff like that.
Employed and in the market.
So why? What is going on? I mean, like these jobs, they pay $70,000 to $80,000 per year, depending on performance. That you can get up into the $100,000, $110,000 ranges. That's good money. Why are mechanics leaving? Well, I just made a video talking about the automotive industry and how broken it is. I just put that out a couple days ago. I'm gonna link it down below. And a lot of mechanics said they are feeling the same exact thing.
Flat rate pay is a double-edged sword, but these in the current last couple years, it ain't worth it because no one's coming in for their repairs.
I'm going to share a couple of the reasons why I left, a couple of the reasons that I know of other people that have left, and then what the general consensus is from online mechanics or just the population of technicians that are fed up with this industry. So before we get into this, if you could hit like, subscribe, just boop those buttons for me. It is super helpful for my channel. I appreciate it a ton. And like I said, I'll link that other video if you want to go check it out after this. But mechanics, we're leaving the industry, and the first thing I want to talk about is upward mobility. As a master mechanic, you get to that level, and once you get to that level, it's a long path to get to the level of where you are actually
Nothing beats a Chattin.
Lizard, lizard, lizard,
lizard. Master mechanics are generally seen as a master mechanic once they get their master certification level. So you have state certifications, and then you have ASE certifications. When you get your master level and your ASE certifications, you're typically considered a master. The problem with that system is you can become a master mechanic without ever having worked on a car. You can go to college, you can get all those certifications without ever touching a car, without ever being inside of an auto repair shop. And if you go that route, a lot of mechanics won't respect you. Most shops won't even hire you because you don't know how to work on cars. That's just the brutal truth. If you haven't worked on cars in a shop environment, you don't know how to work on cars. It's very, very different. It's high stakes, it's high pressure, and it is get it done now. But besides that point, once you make it to a master mechanic, let's say did it the way that I did it, you've worked your way up to a master mechanic, you've been in a shop the whole time, getting your certifications as you're learning. Well, I've got 5 years in the trade, I've now got my master certs, and I'm at the point where I have a lot of experience, I've done a lot of jobs, I can pretty much tackle any job that comes my way, but I haven't done every job. So like a job that I've never done before, I'm probably going to have to do some research on it. I'm probably going to have to teach myself how to do it. I'm going to have to go through procedure. I'm going to have to learn to do it because that's what my job is. I'm not an encyclopedia. I don't have the knowledge of every single car that's ever been built and how to fix it. That's not realistic, especially.
Now, this is a big problem. This is another big problem. Like, I have, I mean, if I went back to Honda, I have all my certs in there. We're ranging from working on EVs, doing brakes, doing tires. Um, I even have my certs for warranty recalls, and I've been performing said warranty recalls. Now, Honda, the previous place I was working at, one of the previous, they paid hourly techs to do the warranty recalls. Some of them paid very well, and it put a hamper on. It definitely put a hamper on mainline technicians needing the money because they're flat rate. And what flat rate is you get paid by the job you do. So like let's say you go to do a brake job that takes what 2 hours. That's supposed to take 2 hours. Let's say you get it done in less than an hour or now within the hour, perform really well with that. You still get paid for the full 2 hours. Well, the reason I say it's a double-edged sword is because if there's a lot of cars to work on, you're making a lot of money, a lot of money. But you're at the same time, if there's no cars freaking coming in, you're screwed. Like you're not making any money. The flat rate system is a very outdated system that needs to be changed for the better, honestly. There are some dealerships out there that will pay a certain amount for them to meet their quota, like a full 40-hour week kind of deal. Same with sales or service writers. Like they would get, some of them would just get paid like that because sales and service writers get paid by commission as well, not just hourly either.
With how many cars are built. So you got to have a good diagnostic process. You got to have a good repair process. But anyway, once you get past like the 10-year mark, you're pretty solid in your repair process. You're pretty solid in your diagnostic process. You've seen just about every type of job that can come through the shop, whether that is like communication issues with wiring, whether it's engine issues, transmission issues. You've seen it all. You've worked on it all. So you have a fair level of confidence to go into every other job. Well, once you're at that point, there's not really a upward mobility. You've kind of already maxed out your pay. You're already making probably really good money, $80,000 to $100,000 a year, and you're kind of just stuck there. I mean, you generally will work there for 10 to 20 years, and some guys will go start an auto repair shop. Some people move into like a working foreman role or a job dispatch role, but there's nowhere to go past master technician. You just become a master technician and you work that until you're 65, you retire, and typically your body's really beat up, your home life's beat up because it's a stressful, it's a hard job, it's a lot of pressure, and you come home and you're angry all day. I mean, think of a mechanic that you know in your life. They're probably pretty angry or frustrated most of the time, and it's just the job. It takes so much out of us that we don't have anything left to give to you, and I'm not going to put on a fake face for everybody else when I don't have the energy to do it for myself. And I know other mechanics feel that way. But anyway, upward mobility. Very limited as a mechanic. You can move into service writing, but that's not really moving upwards. It's kind of like a horizontal change. We're on the same level. Mechanic and a service writer, they do very different jobs, but they're both extremely needed, and they get paid typically about the same. But the second reason, and I guess I would say the main reason that most mechanics leave, would be the flat rate pay scale. So flat rate pay, you
There
get
we go.
paid based
Just what I was
on what's
talking
being
about.
done. So you have
Flat
like
rate scale.
an hourly rate, but your hourly rate is for labor hours. So like let's say you get a job in, the job comes in and it's brakes. You got front brakes. Well, that job typically pays one labor
Wow.
hour. So no matter how long I work on that job, I can take a full day on it. I could take 3 hours. I could take 30 minutes. I'm only going to get paid that 1 hour regardless. So
Yup.
if I get in a lot of brake jobs, a lot of suspension jobs, a
You
lot
could
of
get
front end jobs, a
paid
lot of
as
starters,
if you take
alternators,
longer
water pumps,
than
quick
the
stuff,
meted
I'm going to
quota,
have a really, really good check
the
because I can
estimated time
typically
it
do
takes
that
for the
stuff
job to be
in
done,
under time
you still
because
get paid the
generally
same
doesn't take a
same
full
thing.
hour to do both brakes, especially once you're experienced, you have a system in place. It takes you about 30 to 45 minutes to do them correctly. Well, same with all the other parts. You generally get that system in place, they become easier, you get more experience, you become faster. Well, when you get into more difficult jobs, when you live in extreme climate areas like I do in the Rust Belt, jobs become difficult. Bolts break, things out of the ordinary happen, unexpected things happen. And when that does happen, it's not the dealership that takes the hit, it's not the shop that takes the hit, it's always 100% of the time the mechanic that takes the hit on their paycheck. So not the business that's making millions of dollars a year, not anybody else. It's always the mechanic that's going to take a hit
Yup.
on their paycheck if something goes wrong because they're going to be taking longer on that job than what it pays. And some mechanics will work a full 50-hour week. They're working on a really hard engine job. They're working on a really hard communication issue for electrical. They get one job done that week, or maybe they get no jobs done that week, and it spills over to the next week, and they have a 0 to 10 hour check, make 20 to $500 when normally they get paid $15 to $2,000 on a normal check, and it is gut wrenching. Especially like me, I'm a husband, I'm a father. It's gut wrenching. I got to go home to my family and tell them I didn't make any money. When I was gone all week, like if I'm not gonna make any money, at least I should be spending time with my kid. Well, where's the disconnect here? And that's just some shops are switching. I've seen some shops move to like hourly with a flat rate bonus. Some shops will do flat rate with a guarantee. But even like flat rate with a guarantee, there's a problem with that because if I've worked in shops like that before. You have a flat rate pay scale, but you have a guaranteed 40 hours. So if you don't make 40 hours, they're going to pay you 40 hours of
Yeah.
your flat rate pay. Well, that's good. It sounds great. But if you rely on that guarantee, you rely on that paycheck of them paying you that 40 hours, the shop is more than likely going to get rid of you because that means you're not producing. You're not making them money past that 40 hours, so you're not valuable to them in a way
Yup.
that somebody that doesn't care as much about quality and would just be willing to put out work, doesn't matter if it's crappy, put it out as fast as they can, they're going to hire them instead of you because the bottom line is they make more money. And it's just the unfortunate reality as techs. We're asked and we're pushed, and it's like an unspoken rule, not rule, but unspoken like pressure on you to put out bad work to get it done no matter the cost, because if you don't, you're not going to get paid. And that is, I would say, probably the number one biggest reason mechanics are leaving. It's the biggest reason I left. Number three, it's just going to be the difficulty. I mean, this job is very, very hard on your body, and if you don't take care of it correctly, if you're not eating correctly, not going to the gym, working out, stretching, actually taking care of your mental health, this job will eat you alive. You'll burn out, and you just won't be able to do it anymore. This
That's one of the reasons and issues I had in the previous dealerships. Like there was plenty of work to go around, and the majority of the time, if there was nothing going on, I would be A, cleaning up the building, B, learning from mainline technicians as to what certain how they do certain jobs. Like Hondas are easy to work on. Yeah, basically. Basically. That's that's like dealership mentality though. That I don't know if it applies to local shops. I feel like I mean, local shops is also a great area because some technicians just scam people, some people or some people scam others, and then some others are legitimately good, and then there's some others where it's all bad timing where like it dead ass varies. It dead ass varies. Like you get one thing fixed and a new issue arises and they blame you for it. Customers will always go to the technician. Everyone will always go to the technician and blame them for it. I never had that issue. Like working in the other dealerships though. I Working in the other dealerships was a great experience for me where I was actually taught and learned in what 2 years I've been working in the automotive industry on how to do brake jobs, how to do all the fluid flushes, and how to change this and that out. Like I've done plenty of freaking work before. I've even done safety recalls, airbag recalls, like steering recalls, even for Hondas. And for Chevy, at my previous Chevy dealership back at Washington, that place was honestly one of the best. They listened to their technicians for the most part. Um, Technicians would definitely take the fall for it, but as long as you communicated with, you know, your higher ups and your rider, your service rider, you were good. Like, granted, I've made some mistakes, but at the end of the day, freaking the dealership paid for it and said, this is a learning curve for you. We want you to learn from these mistakes and or do a good job with it, whichever one. They treated their employees great. Like they treated their employees amazingly. The reason I stopped working there was because I couldn't afford to live out there. They paid me decently for what it was. Like I was living pretty decently for the most part, but it got more and more expensive over the years and I just couldn't do it. Not to mention I was overworked. I was really, really overworked. They
We were
relied on
number
me for just
3
about
on the
everything.
topmost casualty list for suicides and for assault and domestic violence as far as trades across the nation. That is a sad truth, and honestly, it's understandable with the way that the industry is and everything that I've mentioned before. But if you don't take care of your body, and most mechanics don't, I've even failed to take care of my body. I'm in fairly good shape. I'm only 26. I'm skinny, and I try to eat okay. I go to the gym. I work out, but it's still like after you work a 12-hour day and your body hurts so bad, the last thing you want to do is go home and stretch or go home and roll your body out or go home and whatever you do to take care of your body. I don't care what you do, but it's the last thing you want to do. You want to go sit down and take a nap because you can't do anything. You have nothing left. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a sissy. And go ahead and let me know in the comments. But it's it sucks. It's hard on your body and it beats you up. And then on top of that, you have all of the other issues. Like I could deal with the strain on my body. I can deal with the hard physicalities of the job, but to put the hard pressure, the hard mental stuff on it from management, from all the different aspects of the automotive industry in the shop, it becomes unmanageable to deal with either one. So mechanics really just don't have an option to find something else. I mean, a lot of mechanics, I've seen some, they're moving into industrial maintenance. It's a lot cleaner work. There's a lot less pressure. It's a lot more preventative maintenance, and it's just fixing stuff. That would be awesome. There's a lot of mechanics that move directly into fleet maintenance, so it's not flat rate pay. They're working on just one fleet. They get to take care of the fleet. They're hourly. They just get to fix cars. There's some guys moving into heavy duty. There's some guys moving into field. And it's crazy because some guys are moving into technically harder physical jobs, but they're going to be easier on them mentally because of how difficult this flat rate industry, this dealership industry, this get it done mentality is to deal with. It's hard to manage, and I know I'm going to get people in the comments saying that it's just me, but it's not just me. And if you feel the same way as me, the facts, objectively speaking, are showing that mechanics are leaving the industry at an all-time high. They're not only leaving the industry, but they're not coming back. We don't have young mechanics coming into the industry as fast, and let's say a big part of that is tool debt. But we also don't have the mechanics that are my age, 25 to 35, staying in the industry. We put our 5 to 10 years in, and we're done. We tried it. We didn't like it. We have plenty of skills, plenty of tools to move into HVAC, to move into industrial maintenance, to move into fleet maintenance, to move into whatever we want to move into because we've already put the work in and we just want to be treated fairly. So if you feel that way, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know your thoughts. And I'm going to be making a video and follow.
Let's look at the comments real quick. Management in the most businesses is extremely poor. Typically, typically. That's another issue is underpay. Like they dealerships would pay less than your average fast food joint. But at the end of the day, who knows? Who can say that freaking they're making like they're doing part-time work or freaking or full-time work, especially in the fast food industry. The majority of the time there'll be a couple full-timers and then there'll be the majority of them be like the majority, a strong majority is part-timers. Now, I still forever hold the previous dealerships I worked at to my heart because they treated me for the most part really well. Granted, there was some mishaps between me and service writers, but at the end of the day, we're working, we're doing our jobs. Mistakes happen here and there. And now it's another thing, though, when management doesn't listen to their technicians, let alone service writers don't listen to technicians, especially ones with years upon years of experience. That just throws a low ball curve that it just shows us, or at least me anyway, could call me crazy on this one, but it could show that, I am I am worthless as a technician. And I'm sure the majority of other mechanics feel the same way. It's not worth working in the industry, especially when engineers design all these things with a lot more electronics in them, a lot more computers in them, all for the sake of features and saving gas mileage and saving money and making all the money in the world.
YouTube Untamed here. There was a lot wrong with the auto industry here in 2026, and it didn't happen overnight. In today's video, I want to highlight 5 very specific reasons as to why I firmly believe the auto industry is broken. I will save the most controversial reason for last, and perhaps, for me personally, the most touchy reason for the end of this video. So stick with me as we talk through it all. Reason number 1 why I believe the auto industry is broken today is because vehicle manufacturers have constantly been pursuing more fuel-efficient options, right? And that's not so much at the fault of vehicle manufacturers. They were receiving green credits from the US government. They were incentivized more to produce more fuel efficient options, right? Whether it's hybrid options, lesser displacement size motors with turbo strapped to them, they were incentivized more in the form of green credits or carbon credits, right? That doesn't really bode well with long-term reliability, generally speaking. A naturally aspirated V6, kind of like what I have in my 4Runner here, was notorious for running 250,000 to 500,000 miles with minimal issue as long as you just did proper maintenance and routine maintenance, right? Not anymore. Nowadays, we have a 2.4-liter turbocharged hybridized option for the new 6th generation 4Runner. And that's not just Toyota. Every vehicle manufacturer has been making this pivot to smaller engines, turbocharging everything, hybridizing everything, and forcing EVs down our throats, only because they cashed in on it from the government. And I want to be clear here, the EPA regulations within the US did not force the hands of vehicle manufacturers, but instead, it just incentivized them less to produce vehicles with naturally aspirated V6s, V8s, supercharged V8s. The more fuel efficient options just made them more money when it came to cashing in on green credits. That's all. They didn't have to pivot away from the naturally aspirated options. Reason number 2 is vehicles today are just
Well, that's the thing, right? Emissions also made ridiculous requests upon the manufacturers to produce vehicles that could have, like, oh, I don't know, unrealistic numbers of miles per gallon. And when the manufacturers don't meet that quota, they get fined also. They get fined. So they would rather take as much tech and small block engines as they put into the vehicles. Like, those things are having some serious catastrophic failures. Transmissions, engines, you name it. This has been going on for years, and even more so, what, 2019, 2020? Um, some manufacturers went with the V8 still, but with thinner grade oil, bad valve train, and various other things. Some others, went with an even thinner grade of oil that's basically water to save miles per gallon. The thinner the oil, the more mileage you get, which is silly to me. There's a reason that they build terribly junker cars. Engineers have no choice but to build super light, very light junk vehicles, basically. And it's I would say it's both on the engineers and the emission standards, making outrageous requests of the manufacturers. And then the engineers, right? The engineers designing these things, not mechanics, just college degree engineers producing these vehicles that makes it super difficult to work on as a mechanic. More than anything, you're working on the electronics more than the engine, typically. But in the recent years also, engines have been blowing up, transmissions again have been blowing up. If you do the warranty recall before the engine or transmission has an issue, freaking you'll lose you'll be out of a vehicle for months because of back order parts, and not to mention you're paying for a car, expensive car at that.
Completely
Anyway,
overcooked. Vehicle manufacturers just stuff all of their vehicles with way too much technology. Obviously, some of them are good. Let's face it, right? Some safety features are good, but at what point did we overdo it? We have crossed that threshold to where every single vehicle is just overdone and overcooked, right? We've gotten to the point where they're so advanced, there's so many computers in these vehicles where the average Joe and Jane cannot pop the hood and work on their vehicle with any level of confidence, right? They're just rolling computers at this point. And why do they do it? Well, the more technology, creature comforts, gizmos, everything that they cram into it, the higher profit margin that each vehicle has. That's why vehicle manufacturers do it. How can they pad their books even more by stuffing them to the gills? Challenge you, go to your local dealerships, walk the lots, and try to identify how many of them are sparse down bare bones examples. You'll find very, very few, right? So many vehicle manufacturers will pump out a ton of the highest trim platinums, limited editions, all these stuff to the gills examples because they want to make more money. The sparse down examples,
the majority of the time, they custom make cars for the average consumer. And the majority of the time, average consumers put in a pre-order for these actually, or put in an order for it with all the features or not all the features. But these are just based. The ones that are on the lot are typically the ones that have the most features.
they still take up the same amount of space on the same exact assembly line. So, well, to the vehicle manufacturer, it makes more sense to them to send down a platinum, right? If it's going to make them more money and make more money for their dealerships. Let's face it, the more technology that a vehicle has, the more likely that they will have things fail later down the road. The more simplistic a vehicle is, as Toyota has proven over the years, the better off it is to be reliable for the long term. Let's face it, all the added
Mechanic channel when? What do you mean? I will never. Well, I could definitely do it, assuming I have my own bay. That's the other thing, right? Is like I could work on my own. I would rather work on my own than with people because working with others, work on your cars on YouTube. Yeah. You know what's funny is someone actually brought up an idea because I picked up detailing on the side again to make some extra cash. Someone brought up the idea like, why not just either live stream your detailing work or freaking upload videos? I'm like, I could do that, just wouldn't need a GoPro. Someone else suggested it on another community I'm part of. I thought it was a good idea. I mean, I would love to honestly have like a GoPro linked to the helmet too when I go out riding in the country here. Because it's a beautiful ride out here. Fun ride too. When it's nice and sunny out or nice and overcast, not cold or freezing. It would be a fun time. I don't know. I could definitely work on cars doing that, but for it to be easy work, quick and easy work, I would need an airlift. But I'm not gonna have access to one unless I pay
technology in
for it.
today's vehicles have played a huge role in the huge uptick in price tags, right? We've seen about a 45% increase of MSRPs over the last 6.5 years.
You know,
45% more, absolutely insane. And when you look at the same math, when it compares to how much we get paid for our salaries and wages, we've only seen about a 7 to 10% increase since that same duration, since that same time. So the math certainly isn't mathing. Well, it's clearly a domino effect when you look at insurance premiums and the cost of vehicles, they go hand in hand, right? This huge uptick in MSRPs have led to the huge uptick in insurance premiums. We've seen insurance premiums across the US over double in the last 2.5 years, all because the price tags of vehicles continue to shoot to the moon. When people get in accidents, the cost of repair is substantial. And that affects all of us, whether you want to believe it or not. Brings us to reason number 3, the auto industry is broken. That is, we are now receiving lesser quality products, lesser quality vehicles, all for a much higher price point. Almost as if all vehicle manufacturers have pivoted to this nearsighted business model, the throwaway vehicle business model. And what I mean by that is they produce these vehicles, lower quality, lesser quality, and they expect them to last maybe 3 to 5 years. And things
Those little cars, these little cars, I mean, Equinoxes are with the V6 engines are okay. Traverses with the V6 engines are okay. But when they go lower than the Equinox and Traverse models, and those things are difficult to work on um, out of the get go, the inline four engines for the Equinoxes were terrible. They burned through a lot of oil. And when they switched over to the inline three Traxes and hybrids and various other things, the inline three engines were also terrible because they have turbos in them. And each one, each type of engine had a different engine code that would have different oil grade and slightly different performance. Like, why? Why would they do that? Like, which one's the more improvised version? The one with the thicker oil grade or friggin', I don't know. Because typically you want thicker oil when you're running a turbo, and the majority of the time, manufacturers have been cranking out thinner oil viscosities for their smaller engine, for their smaller turbos and stuff like that. It's not okay. Like Hondas, Chevys, Hyundais, Ford even, they've all been switching over to smaller engines and with their turbos, like this dude said.
lower quality, lesser quality, and they expect them to last maybe 3 to 5.
And that's the beauty of it is the majority of the time, the smaller base vehicles don't even last that long either. That's because the engines are already worn out with the thinner oil grade.
5 years, and things start to kind of failing and breaking down on you at that 5 year point, which ultimately will force you to have to trade in that vehicle. That's the whole point. These throwaway vehicles, just enough to get you into it, but you're going to come back and trade it in and swap it out for a new one in 3 to 5 years. The days of offering reliable options, even like from brands like Toyota, those are kind of long gone at this point. The new generation Toyotas, they're not built to last 20 plus years. They want you swapping out their vehicle.
Now, this is their Tundras. They went from their bulletproof V8 Tundras to V6, I believe. Don't quote me on this one. I'm pretty certain it's twin turboed. And on record, those engines have been blowing up below 30,000
All
miles.
because, well, that's what makes them money. It doesn't make them much money if you're driving the same vehicle for 20 plus years, right? They need you swapping it out. Much of that problem lies with vehicle manufacturers outsourcing production of their parts, pieces, and components, and sometimes the final assembly of their vehicles, only to import it into the US for sale, right? We see it with Toyota, with the Tacoma in particular. They outsourced it entirely to Mexico for assembly, only to bring them into the US for sale as a primary target market demographic, right? So that wouldn't bother me as much if we actually saw the savings. But we aren't, right? They're lessening their labor costs tremendously by outsourcing production, and they still hike up the MSRPs tremendously. So I don't understand it. Which brings me to today's video sponsor, and that is Last Fit Lighting. If you've been following my channel for any length of time, you
And that's the beauty of it too, is no one can freaking manufacturers are producing cheaper for more expensive so they could afford to keep the business going and have more money in their pockets versus the dealerships making millions also not as nearly as much as corporate level vehicle manufacturers. But the ratio of making more money to corporate versus the dealership is still a marginal less. And at the bottom of the barrel for dealerships, technicians and porters are the bottom ranking, unfortunately. Another reason
see me
technicians are
highlight
leaving
their
is due to underpay, no respect, and not to mention, right, um, the amount of tests you have to do in order to make any money on and get some food on your plate.
floor liners in a number of my vehicles. I do firmly. These T3 bulbs find that I want and those in other brands previously, but I've really kind of just gravitated back to the OEM look. I love the OEM look of the 5th generation 4Runner. Installed too, packaged. And on top of that, I'll do my best to keep up to date with the latest and greatest discount code, and I'll put that right next to the link in the video description. So check it out, and hopefully you're equally pleased with the product as I am. Part of that problem is nowadays we have normalized $50,000 cars, $70,000 family haulers, $100,000 pickups. We've normalized it. And that right there has really served as the breaking point for so many American families. They can't go out and buy a vehicle and lose 50% of its value over the first few years of ownership. When they trade it in, taking a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 loss, that is devastating for them. Add insult to injury, financing institutions have tried to normalize 72-month, 84-month, 96-month loan durations for their auto loans. They've normalized that. I remember it wasn't all that long ago that going beyond a 36-month auto loan, that was crazy, right? If you did a 48-month auto loan, that was wild, but not anymore. 96 months, how about that? And you guys know me, I do take tremendous pride in knowing that vehicles are still being produced and assembled and manufactured within the US, giving Americans jobs. I love that. I don't like outsourcing production. However, let's be fair here, that doesn't always equate to a higher quality product just because we're paying American employees to do it. We pay them a lot more comparatively to cheaper labor countries, but that doesn't always equate to a better product. Let's be real here. And it doesn't help when we have organizations like the UAW, the United Auto Workers Group.
A friend says I should be Twitch partner. I forget what partner is, honestly. The ones that take sponsorships and all that?
Who are constantly demanding more money, a higher salary, higher wages. That just ultimately leads to a more expensive vehicle. And when it comes to tariffs, obviously that incentivizes local domestic production and assembly. However, it also increases the price tag of everything being imported from other countries. So it's a catch-22, really. Moving to reason number 4, I believe the mismanagement of dealerships within the United States is a huge part of the reason why the auto industry is broken today. And what I mean by that is vehicle manufacturers, although they can't control entirely what their dealerships do, they're all generally protected under state franchise laws. They
Ah,
could have
what's a what's a partner for exactly? I've heard quite a I've heard partnerships for Twitch quite a bit on streams, but I'm not familiar with it.
rewarded them appropriately for their management during the pandemic in particular. During the pandemic, so many dealers were quick to hit people with markups. We all saw it, right? Because supply was low and demand was high, dealerships took it upon themselves to charge $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over MSRP on desirable vehicles, and not even desirable vehicles. Pretty common run-of-the-mill vehicles were often being tagged with a markup
Royo,
too, out of sheer
hello.
greed, right? Dealer or vehicle manufacturers, although they couldn't control that.
How are you doing, bud? Ah, got you. I'm doing all right. I'm just doing some reaction videos and talks about automotive industry as a whole. Been busy with work, but I took the day off because of weather conditions. Yeah, it was. It was pretty bad out here. Um, yeah, it was pretty bad. Like I woke up a couple times this morning. One time at 2 in the morning because the doors were just flinging it closed and open, slamming closed and open. Then at 5 in the morning to go get ready for work, and I walk out there and it's just a full on. That's crazy. That's a crazy question. That is true. That is true. I've played with you a couple times to get a good understanding. But yeah, no.
Specifically, what they could control is the
I was
reallocation rates for
I
their
was
vehicles.
basically talking about the
If
automotive
a
as a
vehicle
whole,
manufacturer like
and
Ford, if Ford saw some of their dealerships charging $10,000 over MSRP for their Ford F-150 Raptor, they could have, instead of giving them more reallocations of F-150 Raptors, they could have slowed their reallocation rates. Instead of giving them
yeah,
15 a year, maybe they
thank
could have given
you.
them 5 or less than that, not reward them for their greedy behavior. Those sleazy sales tactics, they should have slapped their hand for that, in my personal opinion. Toyota dealerships were among the most egregious when it
No,
came
I
to
do
markups.
not.
If there's anything with a
That's
TOD Pro badge
crazy.
on it, most dealerships were tagging their customers for a
I like
5,000,
maintaining my own
10,000 or
vehicles and
more
keeping them fresh.
MSRP price hike,
I don't know if that's what
over
you consider
MSRP,
gooning.
which is pretty pathetic, right? So I believe vehicle manufacturers could have managed their dealerships a little bit better than they did. And just for fun, whenever that topic comes up, you generally get people who bring up Tesla's direct-to-consumer purchase model, right? You can just buy a Tesla directly from Tesla and forego the whole entire dealership experience. Going in, sitting down with the sales rep, them trying to
Valid.
upcharge you
No,
and sell
no
you
one's
bogus
gooning.
packages,
No one's
protection
gooning to
packages, ADMs, additional dealer markups.
no one's
Avoid
gooning to
all that.
us. So let's be
Just
real.
pay a set price
I would say
directly from the vehicle manufacturer.
I don't know if I should
Unfortunately, like
feel
I alluded to earlier, state
mixed about
franchise
that
laws
or
protect dealerships.
like
They
good or
protect
bad about
these
it.
facilities and their installations, their sales reps,
Let's be
all
real.
of
I
their
don't know
dealers.
how
They
I would feel
protect
about
them,
that one.
right? It is a economic impact analysis protection for them, for the community in which they reside. As promised, moving to my fifth and final reason why I personally believe the auto industry is broken with the United States is I believe that most automotive journalists today are
Jesus.
bought and paid for actors, right? They're
That's
people who
crazy.
they're only invited to press events and media events, unveiling events for new models, new vehicles, if they have a history of speaking positively about that brand, about that vehicle manufacturer. If they have a history of being very critical of that brand, they're more than likely not going to get invited to their events, their press events, their unveiling events, right? And that, to me, I believe is a big part of the problem. Those of you who don't know, oftentimes a vehicle manufacturer, their PR team or PR leads will often cover the travel expenses, hotel expenses. They'll wine and dine the automotive journalist to come on out to their press events, their media events. So I totally understand, especially if that journalist's livelihood relies on their ability to produce content on vehicle manufacturers, it makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense. They don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. And that's the predicament that they find themselves in. They feel like they got to hype up a brand. Even if they don't necessarily love it, they'll do it just to make sure they can continue to get invited to their events. Let's face it, so many people they're afraid to go against the grain. They're afraid to offend people. They're afraid of getting canceled still, right? That's why they play it safe and speak positively about vehicle manufacturers, about these vehicles, because if they become too harsh and too critical, well, they may not just get an invite to the next event. Unfortunately, the same goes for YouTube in a sense. And what I mean by that is YouTube will often only pick up and recommend videos if there's a level of drama to it. Kind of like what we see on news broadcasts. If it bleeds, it leads, right? Is what they refer to it as. If there's drama to it, that's what people are going to click on. Personally, I hate producing clickbait titles and clickbait thumbnails, but I have learned when I don't do that, the videos are not recommended by YouTube, right? So you
The algorithms of YouTube is insanity too. Let's not forget that. it the algorithms of YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook even uh, their goal essentially is to produce brain rot content that, you know, 30-second shorts is making your long-term memory shorter. Like you it would make it to the point where your brain can only uh it would make it to where your brain can only absorb 30 seconds of content instead of hours or what have you of content that you would need for learning. It's crazy, honestly. And shorts are everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, like
likely wouldn't see it if I didn't do that. And I want to produce
and it goes without saying, right? Everyone love everyone loves clicking on the dramatic things on videos too, besides funny, humorous ones. And it's a very serious problem. Like I get that freaking I produce a variant of content myself or others, same thing. a lot of times other people will just react upon documentaries that have led to companies being self-imploded or explode, like self-imploded basically, where they just go out of business within a day kind of thing. And or friggin' what was I gonna say? I'm still a little out of it today. But y'all get my point though, right? I hope so. Just like how I'm talking about automotive industry as a whole and what's going on with it, it's not good.
Videos where I do a lot of research and do a lot of homework and share it with you guys. These educational, informational videos, I want there to be reach, of course, like any YouTuber. So unfortunately, I do find myself stuck between a rock and a hard place, determining, hey, do I want to try to make this clickbaity if it means actually getting it picked up and becoming a recommended video by YouTube. So I hate it. That's the game that we have to play, unfortunately, within this space. For those of you who have been sticking around the channel for several years, you know the origins of my channel really were focused on vehicle ownership, more so Toyota focused, right? Modifying my vehicles here and there and sharing that with you guys. I still love doing that. Unfortunately, I have learned that it serves as a detriment to the channel at this point because obviously much of my content recently has been car market analysis focused. So when I deviate from that, it actually derails my algorithm a little bit, I've learned. So kind of silly to say out loud, that is why I ultimately created my other YouTube channel called Untamed Reviews, where I can share more personal type content with you guys. So if you haven't seen that already,
Personalized
check it out.
content. I
Please feel
forgot
free
that's
to
it.
do so. If you were more interested in that vehicle ownership, modifying my vehicles, my Toyotas, I'm actually going to be building out my 4Runner TRD Pro here in the coming weeks. If you want to see that, I'll be posting much of that content on Untamed Reviews. Guys, I'll wrap up the video there. Those are my
It's crazy to think though, right, that dealerships are just basically not just dealerships, I'm sorry. Emissions is robbing the big corporate manufacturers, and the corporate manufacturers are robbing the lower end dealerships of their pay because the price to performance ratio of um, what the big corpos make versus um, what the dealerships make is an astronomical difference. And to boot, right? Um, the manufacturers produce some of the worst vehicles on the planet now. The majority of them, and it's not just and it's not just freaking oh, what was I gonna say? Damn it. Oh yeah, right. Engineers producing some of the worst vehicles that don't even last you at all. Don't even last a year. The majority of the time, engines and transmissions in the recent years that have been produced have been blowing up. And if they haven't blown up yet, they're getting a recall. And the recall typically takes a few months to 6 months while you're still paying on the car. That's brand new, by the way. And that goes without saying, right? Yeah. Honda Kia, internal engine problems, Das Wagens, and here lies this whole entire thing. Here lies the reason why technicians are leaving is because the majority of the warranty recalls no one wants to do because, well, warranty doesn't pay their technicians as they should. What should sometimes, like GM, for example, if you're paid, GM will pay, give you 10 hours to do the work, but pay you 35 bucks. It's ridiculous. Is thanks to the engineers also producing unreliable vehicles that um, the work itself, working on these vehicles is much more of a challenge, especially if you have to diagnose electronics, you have to diagnose various things. You have to diagnose like 20, 30 computers at this point. And then when you do, like, let's say a maintenance job, the average consumer can't even do that anymore. And it's not even worth doing maintenance work because, again, the vehicles will either blow up before they even have the service reminder, or it's really costly to do the maintenance nowadays. And even then, it's like, why do it for a junker car? The loan terms, 7 to 9 years nowadays, typically. And then there's also the fact that when you buy a junker car, it's supposed to last for like 5 years to 100,000 miles or something like that before it takes a dump on you. It's to make you trade it in and buy another vehicle. It is a never-ending game of putting people in debt, which is not what I'm a huge fan of. They manufacturers used to build like manufacturers used to build reliable machines before up until 2000. I want to say 2000, 2005. But yeah, no, $7 plus for engine overhaul. This is all freaking specific jobs that are needed more frequently than they should be. $4,000? Make that. No, it's air suspension though. Air suspension costs more than 4,000. Probably costs 8 to 10 grand for a full set of shocks, and then some extra to do the job of replacing them. It's unfortunate, really. Like, I've been working in this industry for quite a while, and I can tell you right now, it's not it's not a fun time. It was a fun time at the previous jobs I was working at, but this time around, it's like, again, no one, service writers don't listen to their technicians, managers don't listen to their technicians, even though technicians produce the majority of the money. And it's a sad reality, really. It really is. It As much as I like working on my own vehicles or like own computers or working on my own things, I would not recommend, at the very least, going in the automotive with the flat rate pay scale being totally unfair to commission and technicians, especially technicians. And warranty recalls is another thing. Warranty recalls is another problem in the automotive. So, excuse me. Um, I will be right back in a couple more minutes, and then I'll put on something else to react to. I feel like you guys will get a kick out of this one. It's pieces of YouTube history. I'm sure you'll love it. I'm sure some of you even probably haven't seen it. We'll see. Alright, I am back. Hope everyone's still here. We're gonna react to I'm trying to find oh my god. Well, that made its way to YouTube. Those were banned commercials. That didn't quite make it to masterpieces of YouTube. Here we go. Old days of YouTube. Trying to find them. Let me see. Is this the one? No. Oh my god. You full playlist? Here we go. Here we go.
Beats Bush, all right? Also, were you a member of Skull and Bones in college with Bush? Were you in the same secret society?
That's all right. Let me answer
Oh, I
the question.
forgot about this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Is anybody watching this? What are you doing?
I'm pretty certain this is where the Florida man thing came from. Is this guy. The Florida man meme. Pretty certain he actually he got tased a few times and he still kept going.
You're arresting me! What have I done? What have I done? Get away from me, man! Get away from me! Get off of me! What did
Yeah,
I do?
that one was crazy. Oh my god. Really?
His final
Oh
farewell to
my
the country he
god.
sent his troops to 5 years ago. George W. Bush under attack, not from militant bombs, not even from friendly fire, but from this, a sweaty shoe from an Iraqi reporter.
When he
He's
got
been
hit
called
by a
worse in the
shoe.
past, but this
Oh my
journalist
god.
likened him to a dog. W. not frightened though, who would be with tens of muscle men bodyguards to save your bacon. The
Yeah,
biggest
that was
insult
a crazy moment. This is another piece of Nah. This is also a good piece of history. That was used quite a bit in YouTube back in the day. There's the keyboard cat, the original. Oh, there's the duck song. Oh my god, the best cry ever. That one was something. This dude was actually on an intervention. The old guy crying was actually on an intervention. And he started bawling his eyes out pretty bad.
Because I know somewhere deep down in my heart I still love you.
That is the most obnoxious kid. Oh my god, there's the annoying orange. The annoying orange. Oh no. Oh hey, looky there. Charlie the Unicorn. There's a third one? Oh, I forgot about that.
Hey, Charlie! Hey, Charlie, wake up! Yeah, Charlie, you silly sleepyhead, wake up!
Oh god, you guys. This had better be pretty freaking important. Is the meadow on fire?
No, Charlie, we found a map to Candy Mountain.
Don't
Candy
mind the
Mountain,
German
Charlie.
subtitles.
Yeah, Charlie, we're going to Candy Mountain. Come with us, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie, it'll be an adventure. We're going on an adventure,
Yeah, it's in German.
Charlie.
Yeah, Candy Mountain, right. I'm just gonna, go back to sleep now.
No, Charlie.
Charlie!
You have to come with us to Candy Mountain. Yeah, Charlie. Candy Mountain. It's a land of sweets and joy and joyness.
Please stop bouncing on me.
Candy Mountain, Charlie. Yeah, Candy Mountain.
All right, fine. I'll go with you to Candy Mountain.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Enough with the singing already.
Our first stop is over there, Charlie.
Oh god, what is that?
It's a Leopleurodon, Charlie. A magical Leopleurodon. It's gonna guide our way to Candy Mountain.
All right, guys, you do know that there's no actual Candy Mountain, right?
Shun the non-believer. Shun.
This is a piece of YouTube classic, bro.
It has spoken. It has told us the way.
It didn't say anything.
It's just over this bridge, Charlie. This magical bridge of hope and wonder.
Is anyone else getting, covered in splinters? Seriously, guys, we shouldn't be on this thing.
Charlie. 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 Charlie.
I'm right here. What do you want?
We're on a bridge, Charlie. We're here.
Well, what do you know? There actually is a Candy Mountain.
Candy Mountain, Candy Mountain, you fill me with sweet, sugary goodness. Go inside the Candy Mountain cave, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie, go inside the cave. Magical wonders are to behold when you enter.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm gonna stay out here.
But you have to enter the Candy Mountain Candy Cave, Charlie.
Oh, when you're down and looking for some cheering up, then just head right on up to the Candy Mountain Cave. When you get inside, you'll find yourself a cheery land, such a happy and joy-filled and perky merry land. They've got lollipops and gummy drops and candy things, oh, so many things that will brighten up your day. It's impossible to wear a frown in Candy Town. It's the mecca of love, the Candy Cave. They've got jelly beans and coconuts with little hats, candy rats, chocolate bats. It's a wonderland of sweets. Ride the candy train to town and hear the candy band. Candy bells, it's a treat as they march across the land. Cherry ribbons stream across the sky and to the ground. Turn around, it astounds. It's a dancing candy tree. In the candy cave, imagination runs so free. So now, Charlie, please will you go into the cave?
All right, fine. I'll go into the freaking Candy Cave. This had better be good.
Yeah. Goodbye, Charlie. Yeah, goodbye, Charlie.
Goodbye? What? Hey, what's going on here? Hello? Who is that? Oh, what happened? Oh, they took my freaking kidney.
Yep. That is when YouTube was originally a thing, this was before friggin' people started making, before YouTube sold to Google. This was before even YouTube had ads or anything of the sort. This was the place to upload animations and other videos and memes and stuff like that. One of the goats. This Charlie the Unicorn is a goated it's a goated piece of history. There's some questionable friggin' pieces of history I won't go into great detail with. There's llamas with hats. That's also a good one. Nyan cat. Yeah, that's also another piece. Code! Hello! It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Oh, look, there's even peanut butter jelly time. We'll go with this one real quick. Hopefully it's low enough. Actually, I was just talking to someone about this clip in particular. They didn't know what this was. I didn't send them the link, of course, like a dummy. Miss you too, dude. Hope you. I've been all right. Oh, thanks for shouting him out. I think Code is the one that actually I'll wait. But well, I know you haven't streamed in a while, and I hope everything's good for you. I'm always down to game when I'm not so busy too. And trust me, I've been busier than ever. Peanut butter and baseball bat. It's pretty fun. That's also a classic. Oh, did it? I'm sorry to hear. Wonder if they have. Yup. Yup. Here we go. This is also another piece of history. Yeah, life's been hitting me pretty good too. But like I'm not even streaming as often as I usually do. I hope you do. I hope you do. I'm sure everyone would love to play with you again. Well, let's be real. I'm sure everyone would love to play with you even if you're not streaming. I think this is the one. Is it this one? I don't think it is. No, it's not. This one is. This is one of the originals. Oh, did my internet just take a dump? Nope. There we go. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we'll have to hang out. This brings back memories for real, for real. This video right here was also originally what made the stick figure video games on mobile and browser games. So just in case anyone was wondering, this is why. That's crazy work. It's crazy how they managed to animate this. How they managed to animate this back in the day. And back then they did it all for free of charge. There was no contracts, there was no ads, there was nothing of the sort. That it was just free game to use. I grew up on this, so such a cool thing. Just destroyed a whole window. That little guy just wreaked havoc. Oh, he set up Firefox. Now it's AOL. There's Adobe Photoshop. Stick figure just took out AOL with his own window. Ah, good old Avast.
Caution. A virus has been detected.
God, that was such cringe, but good animation for Windows XP anyway. He's even got the stick figure just taking out all the ads. I don't remember. I don't remember that one. I don't remember this one. Probably best not to put it on. And there's also another classic. This is not the original creator, I believe.
Hey, I bet you can eat this really hot pepper. I bet you I can. Give me that. Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, it's the fair. No, Dom Farah. Dom Farah was the creator.
Hey, excuse me, do you have the time?
Yeah, sure. It's half past.
Blah!
It's flubber!
You two, the internet back then had some of the most random shit that you could ever find. Still does, but back then it was way more random.
As I watched Mr. Quiggles walk away, I knew I should never see him again. His determination and heart was what propelled
And originally the Laser Collection was part of an animated series, but just in Laser Collection mode.
Shoopus ma whoopus! Oh, hey man, where's your phone? Oh, it's charging.
Dr. Octagonopus!
Oh, hey, it's a letter from my uncle!
Dr. Octagonopus!
Do people even receive cards anymore? That Cell. I didn't know about it till recently, but that's actually Cell. I didn't put two together after all these years. Oh yes. Let's go put on another piece of internet history. One of the most funny, but eventually mind-inducing, annoying songs on the planet. There's a funny enough, there's a very old malware that it internally destroys your PC from the inside and out. And when let's say you finally manage to turn your computer off or your computer overloads with the malware, this in particular song would play when you try to load up in the BIOS or get through the BIOS. Like, hey, you're done. It was definitely more of a meme malware. I won't say what kind of what the name of it was. Someday though, I'll put on friggin' oh look, the crab rave. What's the chicken song? There's a chicken song? What kind of headset are you gonna go for? It was made into a TV show, and they even made a full album out of it in English and stuff like that. It was a multi-language learning artist. It's been my gummy bear. It's been my gummy bear. The fact that I remembered the lyrics is terrible. Yes. This was made originally in Germany that made its way throughout the world. I only recently discovered that this was a TV show, funny enough. I never watched it, of course. Ah, the cheeks! Oh my god. I forgot about that. One more video after this, and I think I'll rate out. Okay, I got you. Let's see if I can actually rate out this time. It would suck if I couldn't. Nothing but gummy bears. Oh, this freaking thing. I hope this one's censored. Friggin' how Gummy Bear was even this song here. It's crazy, honestly. I was gonna go. Let me see. I'll hit them up later. But this is the time to go ahead and rate out per Owl's request here. I hope everyone enjoyed their stay, and I hope everyone enjoyed the little yapping today. Anyway, with that said, hope everyone has a good one, and I will catch you all soon. The next game that I'll be playing is Code Vein 2, just so everyone's aware, because I beat um, AI Limit, and now I'm just waiting for the DLC for that one. Anyway, see you all later, and have a good day, night, and morning. Bye bye.